Rental rates are down 6%. Stay tuned to see how you can survive this as an investor. Promise you, it'll be worth it. Good day, Toronto. Welcome to another episode of Prime Properties TV. So glad you could join me here today. With the weather being so nice, my lawn was 100% getting overgrown like crazy. So, I had to get the lawnmower ready over the weekend and finally cut the grass. I was kind of trying to push it off as long as possible. It's really not my thing to do, but yeah, I kind of had to do it. It's really overgrown. I think I cut off like this much grass. Anyways, this is one of the things I do miss about, living in a condo. But, with the weather being nicer, it seems that the city is slowly unisolating itself. But we'll see how quickly kind of activity resumes back and how quickly it comes back. So in this episode, I'm going to go over last week's promise that I had for you guys about talking about the rental numbers. But before I do that, I'm going to give you a quick COVID-19 update for the numbers from last week, okay? So you can see over here that I've been tracking this for now 12 weeks. And last week we got a lot of listings and less sales. So this is now pushing our weeks of inventory over the 4 mark. If you look closely at the graph I'm going to put over here as well, you can see that the last 4 to 5 weeks is fairly consistent. But then last week we got a little bit of a spike. But it's just a minor little spike. Nothing I would be concerned about for the time being. Especially because Monday last week was a long weekend, which usually means less activity because everyone takes a day off. So that means less sales because of less days. So again, nothing to worry about. So now let's look at the micro markets, okay? So we got condos. Same thing, prices chugging along. The average price for the condos are high a little tiny bit just because there's a few multi-million-dollar condos that sold. And as normal, more of the lower end price spectrum condos are moving. Now, when we look to towns, this is completely an anomaly. We have 2 of them because they basically came on the market, got sold in a day, and over asking. And again, I've been saying this, towns are still doing quite well, and this is a sign. But this is way abnormal. Don't look at the averages. Now, when we talk about the semis, you can see that very minor spike in activity for being a slow week, which means, again, they continue to do better than the rest of the micro markets. And when it comes to detaches, we saw a dip in activity, but again, back to the long weekend. I wouldn't worry too much about it, okay? So if you found this helpful, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the PPTO channel. There's a button down there, okay? Thanks. So moving on to what I was promising you guys, the rental rates. Yes, the rental rates are down according to rentals.ca by 6% from last year. So basically we've kind of reverted back to the rental rates of May 2019 instead of what should be in 2020. This is very similar to what happened with the prices. We just revert back a year. So you can see, I'm going to put a chart over here that all across Canada, most cities have had their rental rates come down. And if you look at the map over here and I'm put on the screen, you're going to see that in the downtown core specifically, there's a heat map of rental rates going down. There's certain pockets that are more red than others, and that's because there's some short-term rental units like Airbnb being converted into long-term, and they're lower than market because of the competition. So when you say 6% reduction, I'd say it sounds about right. I'm finding that rent are anywhere between like $100 to $200 a month less than what it was before. So that fits the 6% bill. Now, this is going to be a challenge for most investors in Toronto if you have a vacancy coming up, especially during the summertime, because it's going to be hard to find someone to move in because nobody wants to move in during COVID-19. And I can see rental rates in Toronto dropping a little bit more from here on out. Now, normally the summer is when the rental rates go up as, everyone's moving back in the city, the weather's nice, they're getting ready for a job or school, one or the other. However, with COVID-19, there aren't many jobs right now to be starting. Plus, Ryerson is one of the first universities to announce that they're going to be doing an e-learning in the upcoming semester. Then you also add on top of a large company like Shopify saying that to their employees, they're able to work from home until 2021. So when you kind of add all this stuff and look at the trends, it means that there's going to be a lot less demand because we're already starting to see large companies shift the way they operate already because of COVID-19. All of this combined is ultimately going to reduce the demand for rental units in downtown. Now, in 2020, this was supposed to be the huge year for supply because a lot of pre-construction condos were occupying or scheduled to occupy this year. So we were expecting to see like a record high number of units. But when you mix in the increased supply from the extra pre-con, the lack of demand from COVID-19, we're probably going to see that rent drop. And those are the reasons. Now, here's the kicker, and that's going to kind of be weird. We're probably going to see some lateral movement between tenants because landlords and tenants that are under rent control, there's an opportunity for tenants to move into another unit that's rent controlled for under COVID-19 rents because there could be competitions, right? So I can see that kind of lateral move happening for activity. On the other side, there are still some tenants unwilling to move because their current rents are still below right now where the dropped rental rates are. So it'll be interesting to see how all this shapes up, but I do expect lower than normal rents due to all of this low demand and high supply. It sounds weird to say in Toronto, but it's kind of where we are right now. Now, if you're an investor and this sounds bleak to you, do not worry, this too shall pass. You've already made a lot of money in the condo market if you've been holding it for a long time. However, if you are looking for a way to kind of survive this, I have created a COVID-19 Survive and Thrive guide. I'll put that in the link description below so that you can get access to it. Now, if you are looking for some help to kind of put a tenant in your property that's coming up, I'll leave my contacts here for you. We'll have a chat to see what's the best strategy because there are ways that you can get and incentivize tenants to move into your unit over other people, okay? Hopefully that helps you guys. Stay safe, wash your hands, and until next time, your move, your future. Now that you're done watching this one, how about this one? Oh, you know what? This one's good too. Ooh, this one's really good. You know what? Just watch the most.